Can I keep my husband by being more sexual is a great question, and we literally get that question often at the Marriage Foundation. I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation, and I used to be a divorce mediator until 2001 when I discovered things about marriage that you won't hear about anywhere else. So this question typically would be answered in the affirmative. Yes, if you're more sexual with your husband will appreciate that and you can quote unquote keep him. But that's not the truth. You see, what's happened is we have lost sight of the reality of what marriage is meant to be. And it's not unusual for that to occur because we live in a very material society. Everything is about instant pleasure, instant this, instant that. And if you really think about what sexuality is, it's sexual gratification, meaning it's gratification of the body, which includes our emotional state. So yes, if you have a lot of sex and the sex is quote unquote great, then your husband will be physically satisfied, emotionally satisfied, but that's not why you both got married, is it? You both got married because you wanted to experience that joy, that happiness that only comes from one place, and that's love. You literally got married for love. Now, when I first started doing this and the couple wanted me to help them, I had to find out, why do people get married? I asked everybody I knew. I even asked people standing in line at Starbucks. I asked the question, why did you get married? Every single person, and I'm talking about scores of people, every single person said, well, I fell in love. And they checked the boxes. And so that's what prompts us to get married, love, because it's not the love. When you are feeling that love, what you're really feeling that is important to you, that every single one of us craves, is joy, is happiness. We want that happiness, and we know that love gives us that happiness. Where does sex fit in then? Because you're not going to keep your husband just by being sexual with him. And we hear that all the time. Oh, be a lady on the outside, but be a blah, blah, blah in the bedroom. That's not what your husband is craving. Your husband is craving the happiness that comes from love. And you might say, well, I love my husband. I cook for him. I clean the house. I have a job. I take care of the kids. I do all of these things. Isn't that enough to show him love? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Those outer things, we do those outer things really out of obligation. But it doesn't mean that those outer things aren't good expressions of love. But until we change ourselves innerly and make ourselves completely devoted, then they're flat. They hit flat. They don't do the trick. What is the trick? The trick is to feel so much love that you would never, ever imagine criticizing him. You would never, ever imagine complaining to him. You would never, ever imagine the negative things that most people do in their marriage. You wouldn't argue with him. You'd let him share what he wanted to share. You would give him the space that he wants, all because you love him, not because it's the thing to do. And this is what separates us at the Marriage Foundation from virtually everyone else. We don't deal with the outer stuff. The outer stuff doesn't matter. It's all about changing yourself from within. And what is the first goal that we have? Like if you took our online course for women, and we have one for men too, it's separated because you don't learn the same way, you don't hear the same way, you don't think the same way. The first milestone when you're taking the course is to become calm and happy. And then you know you're doing what I teach you correctly because you're achieving those milestones. And when you're a happy wife, you're a loving wife. You understand? You must change yourself inwardly so that your normal reactive thoughts, your normal sort of day-to-day stuff is not interfering with what? With the love. The love is our natural state. Joy is our natural state. But in order to achieve those beautiful and obvious states of mind, we have to do the inner work. You can do the inner work. You could learn somewhat by getting one of my books, either Breaking the Cycle or Lessons for a Happy Marriage, which was the first book that I wrote, or if your marriage is really struggling, and not all of them are. I mean, all marriages almost are having tough times, but I'm talking about really struggling, then look into getting the online course. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. I'm very glad you stopped by. God bless you and take care.